All right, welcome basketball fans to HoopsTracker Podcast, the go-to podcast for Colorado basketball players, fans, and coaches. We are going to dive into basketball across the state, insider news, shaping basketball landscape. We are pumped. We have a special guest today. We have Coach Pitts from Legend. Darren, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jerry, thanks for having me. It's basketball time. Here we go.
Yeah, man, I am pumped. We officially are going to be starting basketball. Totally excited about that, and it's underway. And then I think we're less than 2 weeks away from the season starting. So, Coach Pitts, man, you had a great run in flag football. Now you turn the corner. You're ready for basketball. Let's talk about Legend basketball.
Yeah, you bet. It's going to be a fun season. We have a ton of opportunities because we lose technically, even though Miley Starnes is one of the best point guards in the state, she technically was 7th in points per game on our team last year. So that means we lose our top 6 scorers. On paper, you think like, wow, Legend's going to be way, way down. And of course, like we have a long ways to go before we do anything like we did the last couple of years. But I love the kids that are stepping into these roles. And it's such a fun time of year because we finally are in the gym consistently. Fall is so frustrating because it's just hard to be in the gym consistently. We're in the gym a lot, but it's not often that we have everybody there. So now we're trying to get cooking and trying to find roles, see who's going to step up. Excited to kind of go through my roster with you a little bit.
Yeah, no, this is great. No, yes, absolutely. You guys, Final Four 2 years ago, in the finals last year, come up just short. You had a loaded team. All of them are playing in college, which is crazy. Mason's going to be playing at CU coming up here pretty quick with Colorado playing Boise State, which will be fun to watch her. Talk about the transition because even though you moved out your top 6 scorers, you bring up a JV group that was pretty stellar last year. And I know there's a big difference between JV and varsity, but you've got some size, you've got some speed. Boy, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little while before it looks good. I think we'll take some lumps early with Denver East, and they've got some tricks up their sleeve, of course. And then with Valor early, and then the Cherry Creek tournament, our schedule is brutal, and Arizona, and then we've got Riverdale Ridge returning everybody after the break, and Cherokee Trail in early January to get us ready. So we should be ready for league season, but it'll be a little dicey before that. But I love the kids coming up. I'll go through. Of course, everyone I think in the state hopefully knows about Miley Starnes. She is an elite point guard. She's a bulldog. She can guard. She wants to guard everybody. She can guard bigs if we get a switch, which happens sometimes because she's feisty enough. She's not afraid at all. Great shooter. I don't think anybody's worked as hard as she has. I got a few really hard workers, but Miley's leading the charge in terms of getting in the gym and getting it done and lifting and just really being ready and stepping into a leadership role. She was stepping into a leadership role at the end of the season with that big class of 25. And the girls, they love her leadership. They shout her out constantly for being tough, but also very positive. Like Miley understands that she's got kids that she needs to encourage, and she's doing a great job of that. So we have a very strong looking team in terms of leadership already, really, really with led by Miley. But as far as our other seniors, people are starting to really know that Marley Pickett, she was a late bloomer because she didn't start playing basketball until she's a freshman, but she is becoming strong, confident. She's running the floor really well. We love coaching Marley, and she's a legit right around 6'3". So she gives us some options with different defenses and things that we can do. I mean, she's really tough on the board. So Marley's going to have a big season. Our senior class includes Addie Lesage, who's going to be pushing for time. She is a good shooter. She can handle it. She does a good job working with Marley on post entries and then movement off of post entries and so I think Addie Lesage is going to have a big year. And then who from covering flag football, Lucy Thompson, what she did, the splash that she made, and along with Maddie Smolin on the football field. It took them a couple practices to kind of shake some dust off, but they're so athletic that they're catching on quickly and getting used to being in the gym because Lucy's been full-time softball and almost full-time flag football the last couple months. And Maddie's been extremely dedicated as a quarterback and just a great leader for our championship runner-up flag football team. And now just the other day, she had kind of a breakthrough practice. She started to understand the rotations in our defense, and she's so athletic that led to some breakout layups. And then she splashed a 3 and she was feeling in the zone. She's like, all right, so it's going to be fun to have her in the mix. So that's our senior class.
Yeah.
And then some really good juniors. Emma Touche, unfortunately, will have a little bit of a setback. She's one of the most athletic kids in the state, and she broke her ankle recently, so it'll be a slow start. I don't know if it'll be a December or a January clearance for Raya. He was like our, who's going to guard Peyton Jones. So we'll have to see
Well,
who else can step up for that opportunity on December 5th when Valor comes to town. But Raya is, I mean, she's high level recruitable in volleyball, flag football, and basketball. She's such a fun kid to coach, and she is a stud on the court. She's going to have a huge role for us when she does get cleared. But then we've got Maya Sparks, a big defensive presence who can also shoot it and really strong on the boards. So a defensive stopper with a Maya Sparks. She's right around 6 feet and running the floor really well. We've got Ruby Davis at 6'1", looking to step into a big time varsity role. She's a very strong finisher and can also shoot it. She had a good summer and fun to coach. Wild kid, adds a lot of sass and pizzazz to our team. Just a lot of personality that she brings. You bet. We've got a couple other juniors that maybe won't get to see too much. Sydney Kaiser is unfortunately injured, but she's a stud, and I don't know if she'll get any clearance this year or not. It kind of depends on a surgery and some things that she's had. Definitely wanted to mention Sydney because down the road, like next year as a senior year, she could have a huge breakout year, I think, for us and playing college. And then Lily Creer. Lily is kind of an undersized forward for us. We, of course, have a lot of forwards at the varsity level, but look for Lily to maybe get some opportunities to swing up. And then our sophomore class year, I mean, I think people are starting to know, Tatum Burke is, I used to always brag about how Raya Matoush could touch the rim as a sophomore, and Tatum just did the same thing. She grabbed it the other day. She can get up. Tatum's going to have a big breakout year. Her brother, Freddie, is crushing it. Tatum's going to make her own name for how athletic she is. She was kind of frustrated trying to break down in the zone the other day, and she just went like 1-on-5 to the rack and made a sweet, like little backhand reverse play. And Tatum can shoot it. Good defender. She's fast. Addie Law is one of the highest basketball IQ kids that I've coached. She's going to have a big role for us this year. She frees up so much for Miley because Addie Law is a true point guard, just like Miley is. So now Miley can run the floor and kind of space a little bit and look for kickouts from Addie. Those two they work great together. So watch for that tandem between Addie Law and Miley Starnes. It is going to be fun to watch. Addie's an elite shooter and great presence, really, really smart player. And Jada Ryder, watch for Jada. Man, she had an okay summer, but she has had a great fall for us. Super coachable, really, really smart, great shooter. We got her shooting some threes off some flares and stuff, and she's just super, super dependable. But also, she's a kid who you want on the floor because team is better. She just doesn't make a lot of mistakes. She doesn't force stuff. She's a good passer. She's a great program kid, and she's knocking on 6 feet, and she can shoot it and handle it. Like she can fill in at any position. Sometimes in the summer we didn't have a point guard, so like Jada can bring it up and get us into our stuff. Really versatile player, very, very coachable. Then Lizzie Runyon has had a great year. I don't know if she'll be on the varsity roster to start, but she's definitely somebody who could swing up. She's had just a hardworking kid, great shooter and strong defender. And then Braylon Hills, you probably know, she's as a freshman, she'll be right there in the mix competing to, probably getting a lot of her time on JV, but she's going to be a really good player for us. And Hannah Roberts is somebody who can push right in that same conversation. So fun stuff ahead. I mean, that's a deep roster, not a lot of varsity experience, but a lot of awesome kids. And I love the challenge to get this team ready to play at a high level. Everyone knew we were going to be good the last couple of years, but like my challenge for this group, I love the opportunity to get these awesome kids ready to play at a high level.
Yeah, no, this is good. All right, let's take a step back. Let's talk about the say landscape because Sienna graduates, Quinn Van Sickle graduates. There's a bunch of players that have dominated, say, the last couple of years. They all clear out. 6A is going to be interesting. There's a lot of parity. As we were talking before we came on the show, not a lot of people have bigs, a traditional post player. I mean, you got Crittenden, who's in college. Clearly, this young lady is not going to be a center or a 4, but she could be a small forward. She could be a wing. She could play 1, 2, 3, or 4 in college. She's that good. But talk about the landscape of 6A from your perspective, because there's a lot of good teams, as you saw in the fall league, and things like that. So what are your thoughts on 6A?
Yeah, so I think you definitely have that clear top 4 or 5. I mean, you got to look at, of course, Broomfield And obviously with the loaded group that Highlands Ranch has, their whole cohort of club kids coming over together. I mean, that team is stacked, even with the injury to, I think it's Rogers, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
a bummer, but they're stacked and loaded. They're going to be on a mission this year, and of course, Valor is going to be right there with how loaded they are. Northfield, is going to be in that conversation of the top
Mhm.
groups, and then obviously Riverdale Ridge. Holy crap, they are going to be gunning for us something fierce after last year. They're looking for payback,
Well, they
so
return everybody.
we're
This
going
is
to
the
try to just
thing. This is the
take
thing.
them.
They got at least 3 Division I athletes on that team. You got Crittenden, who she's gonna make her decision soon. You got Chloe Parker, who's going to Air Force. You got Peyton Meineke, who's gonna run track and cross country at Tennessee. I believe there might be a 4th who's a soccer player who's a real stud, but they have that plus this young group that has come in. They've got a young freshman group that's really athletic that has played all summer pretty much without Bree. And so they've gotten some minutes. I think in everybody's mind, that's the team to beat, and everybody's going to be gunning for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're loaded. They almost knocked us off without Bree this summer. Yeah, that's a tough matchup because they were right there, championship caliber level team last year, and getting everybody back, like you said, plus a couple of additions. So yeah, that's kind of that elite group. And then you have a big group. I don't have it in front of me, but I mean, you have Arapahoe who's going to be kind of right there in that next group.
Well,
Uh,
you got Denver East, who's got that new big. I mean,
We play them blind on December 1st. I'm gonna have zero scout report. I know that Carl's been hiding those new players. I think it's Nikola Jokic's niece or something. I don't know if that's true.
that's the rumor on the street,
That's
but
the
she's
rumor.
from
Yeah.
Serbia, and yeah. So, but I mean, but Cherokee Trail, you got Chloe Kane, you got Aaliyah Broadus, you got Carson Cheney. I mean, that team is loaded, and they put it on Highlands Ranch in the fall league. Now, fall league is fall league. Fall league is not season, but it was an impressive win. Hopefully they can, and those two teams will not meet until the playoffs. So,
Yeah. And I should have included. I think CT is in that elite top like four or
yeah,
five
yeah,
players. CT is definitely right there with Chloe Kane, and what
yeah.
Broadus has been like unbelievable. This
She looks good. She crushed it this summer on the circuit, as well as Raya Matoush, your kid. She crushed it on the circuit this summer as well. Miley was telling me about how she was playing, when she played for Grit, they had so many guards that she had to play, she had to play some post players and post up against them. And so, there's a lot of good talent. And I just think, yes, there's an elite group, but there's another group, and it all depends on what's going on in mid-April or February when
Yeah,
everybody.
I think I came up with those graduation adjusted rankings, which I like, where we take
Yeah,
a function of how much scoring did a team graduate, and then kind of compute
what's
that along with
returning?
with what was their ranking last year, and then that spits out a new formula. It's so we'll talk about that here in the next couple of days and get that released because it's a fun way to get people talking about the basketball landscape in Colorado.
Oh,
Take a look at
it's
the season ahead.
it's gonna be fun. I mean, those things that you did, I've been working on a little, program to see if we can pull those out a little bit faster than doing them manually, but on the boys' side, I mean, I did some of this manually on the girls' side for 3A and 4A before I got to 5A and 6A, and it's interesting as you go through and look at who's graduated, you right? And the teams that have graduated the few amount of players, those are the ones that have the chemistry, the points. I mean, they're gonna be ahead of everybody else. And not saying that they will, this is a big predicament, but it's definitely an early predicament on ranking teams and where they're at. And so, we'll talk about that adjusted rankings, but what we've been doing at Hoops Tracker is we've actually gone in, looked at Packard's rankings from last year for the teams, and then based on summer players, teams moving. I mean, there's been a lot of movement with players. I mean, Taylor and Paris, London and Paris Taylor going from Cherry Creek to Northfield, they get cleared. Ari Boyd, who left Cherry Creek, somehow gets cleared at Smoky Hill. There's a handful,
Yeah, the
there's this
Spellmans at
little
Eagle
CHASA
Crest.
portal that a lot of people aren't aware of that kids are getting cleared. And then on the boys' side, some are getting cleared, some aren't. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, the
We'll
Spellmans at Eagle Crest and Kiara had the injury. I saw was like some clips of her. She looks great. I think she's fully recovered. And
Yeah.
Kennedy's going to have a huge year. Those two,
Oh, yeah, I mean, the Spellmans, they get a hardship, and they move from Mountain Vista to Eagle Crest, and Eagle Crest now is gonna be a dangerous team. I'm not sure they're gonna be an elite team yet. I mean, they got a new coach, Joshua Chambers, and then there's some coaching changes that have happened in women's basketball, right? So, Mountain Vista has a new coach, Eagle Crest has a new coach. Who else on 6A has a new coach? Who?
Rock
Oh,
Canyon.
yeah, Rock Canyon has a new coach. We interviewed him this summer. Fort Collins has a new coach. There's been a lot of movement, and so with new coaching comes new systems which players have to get used to, and then, new coaches being on the scene, learning the ropes pretty fast, so we'll see how that all plays out. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna
Yeah.
be really fun season.
Fort Collins is going to be good. Chaparral is going to be good. They get most of their scoring back. Chaparral is going to be loaded this year.
Mhm.
And Ralston Valley, they lost Townsend, but they've got such talented guards, and obviously with Santana, Ralston Valley, and how well
Oh,
coached they are, they're going to be loaded.
they're gonna be dangerous.
Arapahoe is really, really good. They're doing a great job over there with making the most of how athletic they are. They're really blitzing ball screens, and they're ton of pressure. They've got some nice zone traps and stuff built in that Arapahoe's running really well.
I
And
mean, you got Izzy Johnson who committed to Mines, but Jerry has another great group of young athletes, and they are fast and they are big, and I think that chemistry really worked for them well in the fall, and we're excited to see how they do once the season hits. They're going to be one of those teams that's also going to be dangerous.
yeah, Columbine, I think they get everybody back, right? Monarch's
Mhm,
gonna be good. Who we're
mhm.
forgetting, it's gonna be a competitive. I mean, the top 20, 22 teams are probably maybe I don't know, maybe as good as I've seen in my time in Colorado as far as
Yeah.
the overall depth.
Yeah. I mean, well, but there's a lot of parity, right? You don't have, I mean, the only team with an All-American has got Bree Crittenden at Riverdale, and we already know she's a stud. But all the other teams, there's no traditional post. You don't have that super big presence in the paint. Now there's some, you got some big 6'1", 6'2" post players, but there's not that 6'4", 6'5" kid dominating the paint like we've had in recent years. And yeah, no, this season's going to be fun, Dan. I can't wait. I can't wait to dive in. Can't wait for the season to start. We're less than 2 weeks away, and this is going to be fun.
I know who I was forgetting, Thunder Ridge. Thunder Ridge, I think, is gonna turn some heads. They've got a great defensive system there. They can
Mhm.
grind you, super well coached team. I'm forgetting a few others. I mean, Windsor's in 5A. They of course have one of the best coaching staffs around.
We do our rankings. We'll hit on
Yeah.
the 4A, 5A because Windsor loses 2 big scorers, but they return their bench and everybody else. They are gonna be very dangerous. Mullen, defending state champs, return Mackenzie Jones, but their top point guard got injured this summer, not sure when she will return. They lose Tatum Jones, who's at UC San Diego, so they lose some height. So you got me, Green
Well,
Mountain, which we
the
both
Green
love
Mountain
to talk
Stanley
about.
Lake game is gonna be amazing. I keep forgetting to look at the date. I gotta make sure I can be at that. Green Mountain Stanley Lake's gonna be great. And then we didn't talk about Grandview yet today. I mean, Ava Chang is
Mhm.
crazy good. She just gets better and better. Like every month, I mean,
Mhm.
you cannot make a mistake on her. She will kill you. And they're
Yeah.
developing a good surrounding cast. You obviously know how well coached Grandview is, but that's another team that'll be in that like
Well, they'll
that
be in
top
the
10.
mix.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll be in the mix. Coach Josh, he looked pretty good in the fall. He kept playing like the cupboard's empty, the cupboard's empty. It's not that empty, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. Well,
Yep.
Pitts, this has been great. You and I, we're gonna connect, and then we'll do a show on those adjusted graduated rankings and
It's
see
gonna be
how
fun.
they fare up against the Hoops Tracker rankings. And this will be fun to do.
Yep, you bet. Sounds good, Jerry. Well, good luck this week, everybody.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
See you guys in the gym.